Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are having a fantastic day as AMC stock is breaking above $5 per share, currently up over 2% on the day. Now, we have a lot of information to get into, including the 13F filing from Barclays, which is kind of like what we've seen from Canada recently. Barclays also looks like they want a lot of upside exposure in AMC, and this is a good sign. If these banks are basically selling out of any downside exposure they had and really doubling down on that upside exposure, that's usually a pretty good sign of something good to come. Now, on top of that, we're going to go over what analysts are expecting for AMC's earnings and much more. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. So first things first, let's talk about what's happening on the day today. You had Apple and Amazon earnings yesterday. Amazon earnings kind of overshadowed Apple's earnings, which Apple earnings were negative. Amazon earnings were positive. Amazon earnings were so positive that people are pretty excited about the consumer, the fact that maybe we can avoid a recession after all. And the unemployment rate definitely supports that. The unemployment rate came in at 3.5%. You were expecting 3.6%. So what I expected happened. The unemployment rate fell 0.1%. So that is positive. Now, non-farm payrolls came in at 187,000. You were expecting around 200,000. So this was one of those scenarios where it wasn't too weak, where it was seen as bad, right? The markets want to see good economic data. They want to see things going fine in the economy. And that's kind of what we got today with this data. Now, if we talk about AMC more specifically, AMC stock is up on the day. Some of it could be contributed to a kind of bullish market. Not all stocks are doing well today. A lot of stocks that I personally own are in the red today. Now, Treasury yields coming down could be a reason why AMC is doing well, on top of just some news that could be coming out here shortly with AMC as well. Some of these 13F filings, some of the position that we're seeing right now, kind of indicative of some good news to come. We'll talk about that here in just a few. But the bond yields on the 10-year Treasury is down about 10 basis points today, which is kind of reversing what you have seen recently, and that is just bond yields going straight up, almost hitting a new high of this cycle. For context, last time you were this high with the bond yields, while markets sold off and hit the lows in October of 2022. So you have not seen that same reaction, and that's good. It definitely shows the markets are in a much healthier place right now than where they previously were. Now, if we take a look at what's going on with AMC today, the Ortex data, AMC still on the threshold securities list. No surprise there. 30.15% short interest of free float. We've talked about this before, but if apes still own 80% of the float, 70% of the float, the short interest of free float is actually over 100%. So keep that in mind. Little misleading, I guess. 30% short interest of free float, if you consider free float being, what's actively able to be traded out there, you're much higher than 30%. Currently have 155.67 million shares that are sold short. Cost to borrow average sitting at 357%. Cost to borrow max 364%. Cost to borrow minimum 351.5%. Cost to borrow fees staying remarkably stable here in this 350 range, which is positive. Although it's not 1,000%, they're staying high. It's not like they're falling to 10% or 20% or something more manageable. No, they're staying over 300%. Now, Interactive Brokers tends to favor hedge fund and institutional clients. There's not a lot of people with Interactive Brokers accounts that are retail investors. They say themselves they tend to favor hedge funds and institutional clients. So that's kind of where I get that from. Cost of borrow fees over here, about 190%, give or take, on any 15-minute basis. So numbers incredibly high for the cost of borrow fees, and that's probably going to continue that way. Now, if we look at some of the option activity on the day today, little bit more positive. 13 orders totaling $811,000 with a positive order value of 28%. Much more positive than what we typically see for AMC. Over the past week, you have seen positive order value of 6%, which 28% is much higher than that. So maybe we do get some news, maybe soon. What we seen the last time we got news was on a Friday, right? In after hours, kind of like what, today, it's a Friday. You might get some news in after hours. You might not. It might be weeks from now. I'm not a fortune teller. I don't know. But what we're seeing with the option activity, a little bit more bullish today. And what I'm about to show you with the 13F filings definitely supports maybe we do get some good news. Now, Barclays. Barclays. So they sold out of their put position completely. They do not own a put position as of right now. Barclays increased their share position by 52%, owning 416,000 shares, and their call position is currently worth about 5.9 million shares. They did decrease this by 22.5%, probably has to do with risk management more than anything else, because now they are all long on AMC. They don't have a bearish bet on AMC right now. And you've seen this recently, like I said yesterday, with the filings coming out from Canada and the banks over there. They've massively bought in the dip and sold out of any bearish positionings that they had. Bank of New York Mellon owns 1.5 million shares of AMC. Added to their position about 2%. Bank of Montreal reduced their put position down to basically nothing, about 12,000 shares, reduced that almost 99%, and they increased their call position by 4,000%, owning 14.5 million options, which would be that's the equivalent of shares, so they own 100 times less than that in options. But it leverages out to be 14.5 million shares worth. And they did buy a lot of shares of AMC as well, 7,000% increase, now owning 1.9 million shares. So it looks like a lot of these banks, some of the banks that we're getting, have really sold out of their bearish positions in AMC and went balls to the walls long in the stock, which I find very interesting. It really makes you wonder if this arbitrage trade is ever going to happen for them, or maybe if they know something. That's also a possibility. Now, from Market Watch, AMC's second quarter results on deck amid strong box office, Hollywood strikes, and stock conversion battle. It says, AMC Entertainment Holdings reports second quarter results after market close on August 8th amid strong box office trends and challenges in the shape of Hollywood strikes and the company's ongoing stock conversion battle. Quote, theatrical exhibition is on the path to normalization with an improving release slate in 2023, Wedbush analyst Alicia Reese wrote in a note this week. Our industry estimates are for 2023 North American box office to end 20% over 2022's and negative 78% of 2019's box office, with AMC at least maintaining its 22% market share, if not expanding with its vast network of premium large format screens, she added. We expect positive commentary about the successful Barbie and Oppenheimer runs so far in AMC's domestic and European markets. AMC enjoys its best week ever based on admission revenue from July 21st through July 27th, the company said Monday, setting a new company record for U.S. theaters and global theaters. Some 65 U.S. locations also set single-week box office records, including 13 locations in the greater Los Angeles market. However, the actors and writers' strikes are casting a shadow over the entertainment industry, as acknowledged by AMC CEO Adam Aron in a recent tweet. Moviegoing in 2023 still will be well below 2019 pre-COVID levels, he wrote. The writers and actors strikes create uncertainty ahead, and cash is very tight. But Reese is anticipating a positive update from the movie theater chain and meme stock darling when it reports its second quarter results. Quote, we also expect an overall optimistic view of the company's ability to mitigate any negative impacts of the ongoing labor strike should they end in the next 1 to 2 months, she wrote. The company's stock conversion battle is ongoing. AMC's plan to convert its AMC preferred equity units into common stock was blocked last week when Delaware judge rejected a settlement that would have allowed the deal to proceed. The stock conversion plan was part of the company's ongoing battle to eliminate debt. It says, if AMC is unable to convert APE shares, the company will be forced to issue significantly more APE shares to cover its upcoming cash requirements, according to Wedbush Reese. This will result in significantly more dilution for the company's overall outstanding share count, she wrote, noting that at market close on August 1st, AMC shares were trading roughly at 3 times the price of their APE counterparts. Quote, we expect continued volatility in both shares of AMC and APE while the judge considers the modification AMC submitted, added Reese. In the meantime, we think AMC will wait as long as possible before issuing APE shares at such a significant discount to AMC shares, and while Adam Aron attempts to persuade his shareholders to act in the best interest of AMC. Regardless of the outcome of the pending court case, Wedbush expects AMC to continue raising cash with its equity and while chipping away at its massive debt balance. AMC exited 2022 with debt of $4.94 billion, down $220.1 million from a year earlier. Wedbush reiterated its underperform rating and $2 price target for AMC. Of 8 analysts surveyed by FactSet, 3 have a hold rating and 5 have a sell rating for AMC. Analysts surveyed by FactSet expect AMC to report second quarter loss of 4 cents a share and revenue of $1.28 billion. So this is getting a lot closer to that adjusted profitability. Only a loss of 4 cents a share. It's possible that AMC actually comes in positive. If that were to happen, probably see a big boost to AMC's stock itself. But nonetheless, next quarter should be pretty good, and you should get some pretty good guidance, hopefully going positive on this EPS number. So we will ultimately see. I do find it interesting that Wedbush has so many bullish things to say about AMC. They really didn't say anything negative, and they still have a $2 price target for AMC and an underperform rating. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Ultimately, we'll see what happens. I personally think with some of the things we're talking about here in this video, it makes sense to go into AMC with some longer dated options. And that's what I plan to do today. If you guys want access to all of my trades in real time, linked down below in the description of this video, you can come sign up for that one. So there is all of that information. Stock tracker data looks like about 61,500 calls are going to expire in the money this week. That is positive. 200,000 calls expiring out the money. In the money puts about the same as the in the money calls, which is quite different from what we have seen recently, sitting at about 61,844, and out the money puts at 310,000. So this is actually a pretty dang good week for AMC as far as the options and how many are likely to expire in the money. So that's positive. Again, today is August 4th, so that means there's about 13 million FTDs that need to be covered on essentially at any time. And I know these are cumulative. They kind of, it's a run rate, right? So as of today, there's still 13 million FTDs that need to be closed out on by today, or a couple million at the very minimum. So that could be having a positive effect on AMC stock as well. Really hard to tell with all of the good things that are happening with AMC. It's hard to narrow it down what's actually causing what. But what we have seen recently, I've talked about this before, we'll probably talk about it some more. AMC gapped up, it came down and filled the gap, and now you're trending to the upside. It looks like AMC is just waiting for some good news. Maybe it's waiting for earnings, and then you can start to take that leap higher. That's what the charts look like to me. This is very much a bullish technical setup for AMC. Even the MACD is in positive territory. This hasn't happened since May for AMC. And we're going on, we're in August, so that's, 3 months or so that AMC was not positive on the MACD, and now you are. Now, if you look at the RSI, that's at 55.63 as well, indicating some pretty good strength right now, and that's just an overall positive. Now, if we take a look, you have a short score of 93. Dollar amount sold short, 762.18 million. Estimated short interest off free float, like we said, about 30.07%. Free float out on loan, 37.38%. Shares out on loan, 192.98 million. Days to cover, 8.15. Cost to borrow trailing 3-month average at 243.84%. And utilization at 82.1%. Like I said, I think this utilization number is getting kind of brought down by what we're seeing with Ape. Could be wrong there, but that's kind of what it looks like to me. So that's what I have for you guys here in this video. To me personally, again, it looks like something is coming around the corner. That's at least what the signs we're getting, and it looks pretty dang bullish as of right now. There's nothing that I can really say that looks bearish about AMC in terms of a short squeeze. Obviously, there's a high short interest. There's a lot of people betting against the stock. But even today, look at some of the positive order value numbers that we're getting. Pretty dang good. So that's going to do it for this video. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. Again, if you guys want to come trade with me live in real time, linked down below in the description of this video. We have like 50 members over there, 100 members, something like that. So if you guys want to get in on the action, link down below. Thank you for watching. Most importantly, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.